So this is the 4th episode, and I have added some closing thoughts to today's session. And if you click, first thing, which is super important if you are going to be a virtual hoster and if you are going to manage your customers' resources, is that you need to take advantage of Partner Admin Link, PAL. This is the way for you to be able to manage resources that are owned by your customers. And Partner Admin Link gives the customer control of who is managing his resources. The customer can have multiple partners managing different parts of his environment. Gives you recognition that Microsoft will be able to see who is managing resources, and they will over time come up with some nice incentives to the partners that are managing resources. So we will see a shift from getting
here we're unable to hear you.
Like
we're unable to hear you.
Managing. So Partner Admin Link, if you click. Next thing is Azure Lighthouse. So I call Azure Lighthouse the best thing since sliced bread, something that people have used over and over, but Azure Lighthouse is free. It's a nice management tool that gives you as a virtual hoster the ability to manage all resources, all your customers in one single dashboard. It makes it easier for you to connect to your customers' environments, and you will also make sure that you are up to par when it comes to security patches, and things like that, because it will be so much easier to get visibility into in what state your customers' environments are, and therefore you will drive a more consistent quality. This will also reduce cost because it is so efficient to manage resources with Azure Lighthouse. So you will find that your people will be able to manage more than what they were able to manage before. If you click. Can you click, Kesha? Can I click the next slide? Yes. And next is, I seldom do screenshots, but I thought I should give you some visibility into how it looks. Here you can see, this is a small environment, but this virtual hoster, this fake virtual hoster, is able to see all his customers in one portal. Super easy, very efficient. And if you go to the next slide. Here is the security center that is inside Azure Lighthouse. And it really gives you the opportunity to make sure that you have the right standard across all your customers. Super easy, super efficient, and just the security center is probably enough for you to see that it is well worth investing the time to learn how to operate Azure Lighthouse. Okay, if we move to the next slide. Next slide is about Azure Backup Reports. Backup is something that can be a real cost for both a customer and a hoster. And it is important to be able to see how your backups are consuming space, how well they are performing, so that you can plan for how to allocate more storage and more compute power. With Azure Backup Reports, you will get better visibility into the future. and therefore you can plan your backup better, and that will reduce costs, and it will make it easier for you to make sure that all your environments that are under your wings are being backed up in a proper way. Also free of charge, free from Microsoft. And
Oh, you're losing
yes.
the audio.
You were unable to hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Not very well.
Can you hear me?
No, the connection on
Can
your
you
end
hear me better
isn't
now?
allowing us to hear you.
Is
Yes,
this better?
Yes, we can hear you much better now.
Okay, sorry. So, sorry for that, technical problems. But as I've said, there are three important things from Microsoft that are free of charge. It is a partner admin link, important if you want to get visibility into Microsoft, and it gives you the ability to manage resources on the customer side. We have Azure Lighthouse, that is a wonderful management portal that allows you to be able to manage all the resources that are under your wings in your customers' environments. And then we have Azure Backup Reports. Azure Backup Reports is a wonderful tool for you to be able to plan your backups, make sure that all your environments under your wings are being backed up properly, and it allows you to plan for how to allocate more resources on the backup side. So, in these 4 episodes, we have talked about how to become a virtual hoster. When you are doing this, it is important that when you get rid of hardware and data centers, there's also an opportunity for you to reduce maintenance and support staff. And with that, I mean that you will be able to give your people more challenging and more fun tasks to do than just to monitor hardware, do break and fix, and take care of data centers. And this is something that will reduce costs, because your people will move from really being a cost center to be able to do consultancy work, which is billable. So it is important that you take the opportunity when you are embarking on the road to become a virtual hoster. You take the opportunity to also shift costs so that you gain efficiencies. Another advice is to avoid third-party management tools. Any given day, there's probably a point solution from a vendor that is a nice and perhaps superior management tool for a very, very special task. But this drives cost. It is not just the cost for the licenses of this third-party management tool, but it is the cost for the people that needs to be skilled and needs to be on duty working with these tools. So avoid third-party tools. That is a great advice if you want to reduce costs and increase margin. The third thing is with standard operational procedures, SOPs, for everything that you do. It will help you to increase quality, and it will also help you to reduce costs, because you will not need specialized people doing all these tasks. Some of these tasks, and hopefully many of these tasks, can be done by people that are more generalists. So SOPs for everything that you do. Document it in a piece of paper that has a version, update it when it is dated, so that it is always a document that works for how you are conducting your work. Next slide. Another thing, which is a question I have received several times, is how do you do it? Should you migrate virtual machine by virtual machine to Azure, or should you do a major refresh? And I say that the best thing is if you can convince your customer that it is time to do a major refresh. And by major refresh, I'm not talking about just upgrading operating systems on virtual machines, but see if you can consolidate some, see if some services that you use to produce in your data centers like SQL Server can be changed into instead getting SQL as a service. And there are many opportunities for you to think in new ways so that when you do your major refresh, the footprint will look so much different than before. But if the customer is not ready to pay for a major refresh, then I suggest don't wait. Instead, do the virtual machine by virtual machine migration to Azure, because you can always do the major refresh later. So if the customer is willing to pay for a major refresh project, take that opportunity, do it. If the customer is not, then migrate virtual machine by virtual machine and say to the customer that you offer to do it for free, no extra charge. Because otherwise, you'll just be stuck in a situation where nothing is happening. So get into control and do the migration now. That is my best advice. Otherwise, you risk falling victim of having to sell again at a later stage. So do it now. If you go to the next slide. So do things differently. And I touched around SQL. SQL can be transformed into SQL as a service. There are also other things that you can take advantage of when you are moving to Azure. You don't need to allocate more than you need today. You can allocate as you go in a much different way than when you were running your own data centers. When you were running your own data centers, you had to always be a little bit ahead of the customer demand. In Azure, you don't need to do that. You can grow the same minute as the customer wants more capacity. And if you go to the next slide, which is the final slide. So it is, of course, always better to be part of the future and not clinging on to the past, which is a little bit of a cliche. But when you migrate to Azure, you will reduce cost over time. Perhaps not this quarter. And I know that this quarter is especially challenging for all of us, but over time, you will reduce cost. When you take full advantage of all the capabilities inside Azure, and when you take advantage of reducing people that are doing mundane support and maintenance. But I think that the conversation is not about cost with the customer. The conversation is very much about what more you can do, what more functionalities you can offer with geo redundancy, with the ability to spin up capacity at an instant. There's so many things that are different in Azure. So my closing thoughts is that if you want to protect your business, if you want to have a wonderful business next year and the years to come, moving to some sort of large cloud is the way to do it. And if you're a Microsoft partner, well, the low-hanging fruit is, of course, to move to Azure because it is so much easier than if you should try to move to something else. If you're a Microsoft partner, there are tons of support from Microsoft, and you will see more and more incentives that are targeted to the ones that are managing resources. And as a virtual hoster, well, that is core of what you're doing. So next slide. For Q&A.
I don't see any questions at the moment in the chat, but if anyone wants to take the lead and ask a question, please feel free. Yeah.
So, question to you all, as you have been part of this journey, all 4 sessions, what do you think? Is virtual hostel something for you? Does it make sense? Okay, looks like we didn't have any questions today.
Nope, not at the moment. So thank you so much, Per, for all these 4 episodes and for the presentations. It was a great event and a great session. We will add this recording on the Microsoft Partner Community as well. So make sure you keep an eye on it. Thank you all for attending. Stay safe and wish you a great day ahead.
Thank you.